Hello everybody, this is Taylor from Discomfort Films, and this is a very kind of last minute Blu-ray update video. It's almost midnight and I already kind of got ready for bed, so that's why I'm in my moo-moo and I'm very shiny because I'm moisturized. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. The first one I have here is actually, I think it's a new favorite. I really love this movie. It is Santa Sangre, directed by Alejandro Jodorowsky. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I've been trying to work through the last little bits of his filmography I haven't checked out yet, and I do like The Holy Mountain a lot, and I still need to rewatch El Tobo because I haven't seen it in ages. But this one is probably my favorite. It's just got such a great story and visual aesthetic. It still has a lot of that bizarre, abstract imagery that he's known for, but it has this very strong emotional core as well, which I really love about it. Might actually talk about it on the channel someday, who knows. It's not on the in progress list, but we'll see. And the next one, it was a blind buy, but I have since watched it. It is Killing Spree. I'm not quite sure if it was worth the blind buy, but the more I think about it, the more I think I like about it. My main issue is that it's a little overlong and repetitive sometimes, but it has this very low budget charm to it, and the lead performance is very enjoyably unhinged. Yeah, the lead actor's name is actually Asbestos Felt. I'm not sure if that's just a stage name or what, but it's pretty awesome. I still really need to check out Truth or Dare because it's the same director, and I've actually heard of it for a while because I think it was on one of my, this DVD I used to watch a lot when I was, a teenager. I think it was one of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre original ones, and it had a trailer for Truth or Dare, and I just remember, this very repetitive, do-do-do-do-do-do-do, just overplaying the entire thing, and it would get, even, though I haven't watched it in ages, it's still drilled into my brain. That's how much I watched that Texas Chainsaw Massacre DVD as a kid. And anyway, I'm not going to shuffle it around. This is the first of two Criterion Blu-rays. The first is Inland Empire, very highly anticipated by me. This is probably one of my favorite, well, honestly, it's hard to pick a favorite David Lynch movie because most of them are just so good. It was either this or Blue Velvet was the first David Lynch movie I watched when I was getting into his filmography, just because it was what was available at the video store that I could rent. I'm looking at my face and the reflection there, and it honestly kind of looks like a screenshot from the movie. Anyway. Yeah, it is very obtuse. It's not plotless. It does have a plot, it's just told in this very abstract, indirect way. And even though, I couldn't make heads or tails of it the first time I watched it, it still really left an impression with me, and is honestly probably one of the, I would say probably one of the scarier movies I've watched, just because of how uncomfortable certain segments make me. And even though it's goofy as hell out of context, it's the same with the whole analog horror trend. I know it's trendy to kind of make fun of the generic analog horror face jump scares, but I don't know, something about distorted faces in horror media really gets to me. Lake Mungo is another one that really fucked me up, but so yeah, something about that just gets me. So yeah, probably not the best movie to start off with if you're just getting into David Lynch, but it's definitely worth a watch. Next up is a very long overdue upgrade, even though I think it's getting another release pretty soon, but I don't know. This is the very first Halloween, one of my favorite movies, although that is far from an unpopular opinion. I still really need to work on my Evil Dead collection. I got two of them right here, but this is the 2013 version. I've been a defender of this movie since it first came out, and it's nice to finally see it get some recognition. I think as far as a remake of just the original Evil Dead, it's probably close to the best version of itself it could be, in my opinion. Because the original Evil Dead definitely has goofy moments, but they're more unintentional. And this movie is more hey, what if we took the basic story and just played it completely straight, balls to the wall, crazy splatter horror. And the third act in this movie is fucking great. Even if, you find, the beginning a bit tedious, I think that makes it worth it, at least in my opinion. And the other one is Army of Darkness. This is gonna offend some people, but I still haven't seen Ash vs. the Evil Dead because I find it a lot harder to get into TV than to get into movies because it's more of a time investment. But I've heard really great things about it, and I really want to check it out at some point, but it's hard for me to pick a favorite Evil Dead movie, honestly. The most cliche answer would probably be 2, and that's probably correct, but honestly, I think they all have, they're all consistently good, but they also have, their own thing to offer in terms of, kind of style and tone. which I think makes it a very fun franchise. And this is also a really great looking steelbook with some great cover art as well, so happy to have that. This is another long overdue upgrade since I don't think I even had this on Blu-ray. I think I just had it on DVD, and it's another really nice looking steelbook. This is the original version of Carrie. Probably one of my favorite Stephen King adaptations. Like, I would say that it's up there with The Shining, but like, I'm not sure how well The Shining works as an adaptation. Like, it's, yeah, I don't know, I love both the book and the movie when it comes to The Shining, but I consider them very, like, distinct entities. Whereas this, there's a lot, like, obviously there's a lot that you have to cut out for time. It doesn't take too many liberties, but the visual style really adds its own, like, unique identity to it. And the next one is Frankenhooker. I watched this for the first time again somewhat recently, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very funny, and I'm eager to watch it again. The next one is kind of a controversial pick, but I really admire it. This is Skinamarink. Kind of wish there was a little more to this release. I think all it comes with is a director's commentary, which I'm very eager to check out. I'm not sure how much more it will reveal about what's actually going on in the movie, but it's sure to be interesting, I think. And this is the second criterion. This is Female Trouble, probably my favorite John Waters movie. There are just so many, like, fucking amazing lines in this. Like, I wouldn't suck your lousy dick if I was drowning and there was oxygen in your balls. God, I really need to rewatch this. This is another steelbook. I remember liking this movie a lot, but I haven't rewatched it in ages. This is Cloverfield. Cool movie. It'd be nice to get, like, an actual sequel someday. And this is very cool. It's a steelbook. It has this slipcover with the camera lens on it, and you lift it up, and it's the monster destroying the city. It'd be kind of a spoiler if you hadn't seen the movie and didn't know what the monster looked like, but it's still a very neat design. I actually remember seeing this in theaters when it came out with my friend as a kid, and I really enjoyed the movie, and she really didn't, so I had to, like, I remember being kind of depressed because I had to, like, tamp down my, like, excitement over it, which I don't know why the fuck I did that. Having a different opinion on a movie is not such a big deal, but, like, kids are stupid. Then this is the final one, and one I was very excited to find, because I assume it's still out of print. At least this version. This is Ghost Watch, this limited edition box set. And yeah, I watched this for the first time on Halloween, like, a couple of years ago, and my expectations going into it were kind of like middle of the road, like, I'm excited to check this thing out and see how well it holds up. It's probably just gonna be like this kitschy made-for-TV thing, and I actually think it holds up extremely well. There's probably a lot of YouTube videos going over the kind of story of this movie. It's basically like kind of a live, not live TV broadcast about these journalists investigating a supposed haunting at a house. And even though it's like a movie, it's all pre-recorded, like they did use like actual newscasters from the BBC and the cast, and it's played like very naturalistically. They even like for the like overtly scary parts, they don't go too over the top, and they take like quite a bit of time to build up to them. So even though it's like not real, they still like go for that sense of realism, and it was extremely controversial when it came out because, like I said, there's probably plenty of YouTube videos that go more in-depth with this than I'm capable of doing here. But it was shown live on TV and kind of like played like it was a real live news investigation. There was a disclaimer at the very beginning saying that it was fictional, and there's a telephone number that comes up a few times throughout the broadcast that viewers could call, and the way it was set up, they were supposed to receive a pre-recorded message saying that the program was fake, but because there were so many calls, like, the system malfunctioned and they didn't get that disclaimer. And if I remember correctly, like, some of the promotional material, like in the TV guides leading up to it did say it was fictional, but like, a lot of people just like tuning in as it was airing didn't necessarily know that, so it caused a bit of a panic. And some kids allegedly were diagnosed with PTSD just because of this movie, which is pretty fucking crazy. And kind of the depressing thing about like the whole controversy in my opinion is that it was kind of framed like the filmmakers were trying to like intentionally deceive and harm people when all they wanted to do was just like kind of make a neat semi-realistic ghost story. And I think one of the kids that saw it actually obviously had like some like pre-existing mental health issues, but ended up like dying by suicide, citing this film as part of the reasons. So it's just like heartbreaking as like a creator to imagine creating something that you know is fictional and you assume that your audience knows is fictional and being accused of causing like actual real harm to people in that way. But thankfully, as the years have gone on and people have looked back on it, it's gained a cult following, which has resulted in this beautiful release right here. As you can see, it comes with some booklets inside. One is actually a copy of the script. It actually has all these like little notes and highlights in it, which I think is very neat. It also comes with the other stuff you'd expect from a release like this. It's kind of like it reminds me of Second Sight's like limited edition stuff. It comes with some art cards and another booklet containing some essays about the film, and I think like a sequel in the form of a short story that I haven't checked out yet, but I would be interested in doing it. And this box is just gorgeous. Like, I love the way it's emulating that visual of, like, television set. It's very neat. Anyway, that is my Blu-ray collection update as of August 2023. I'm curious to know if any of these films are in your collection, or if you've seen them, and what your thoughts on them are. I wish I could give an update on the next Discomfort Films video. I do have a guinea pig script that's in its early stages, but I'm honestly, like, not sure what the next video is going to be or when it's going to drop. I feel really bad because I wanted to get like a lot more videos out over the summer, but the place I work at, it's this small business on like kind of a boardwalk, and it's summer and there's hotels nearby, and we're understaffed like literally every weekend, so work has been like more of a shit show than I expected over the summer, and like by the time the weekend rolls around, I rarely have the energy to do much other than laundry and Stardew Valley, basically. My upload schedule is something I'm always trying but failing to improve on, so that's been a little bit disappointing, but we'll see what the future holds. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel. Goodbye.